Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike MagistaX Proximo indoors in the latest Safari Pack colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is wolf gray in color with black strings. On the front you're going to find the black safari print within the Nike swoosh. It has a fierce purple outline with fierce purple MagistaX branding as well. And then on the back side you're going to find a purple Nike football logo. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and we'll take a closer look at the Safari Pack colorway of the MagistaX Proximo, which out of the three Safari Pack Proximo models, I would say that this is my least favorite, but nonetheless, we're going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself in this video. We're going to talk tech specs, performance details, take a look at the weight, as well as talk about how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, watch the entire video, and if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $150 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, of course, this being part of the Safari Pack, you're going to find Nike Safari print across the majority of the upper. The back 2/3, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So the back part of the shoe features a wolf gray base with, of course, black safari print. Now the safari print along with the actual Nike swoosh is reflective material. So under stadium lighting type environments, you're gonna find that it reflects the light and it has a really cool effect. I'll actually put a little video on screen of the reflectiveness of this shoe in action, just so you can see what it actually looks like, similar to what you're going to find on the Mercurial X Proximo with its reflective safari print as well. Very, very cool looking. Now, you're going to find that it doesn't have safari print across the entire upper. It goes from wolf gray and then fades to matte black in the forefoot and toe box area, which I'm personally not crazy about. It's not that it looks bad. I just wish that it would have been all gray in color, full safari print. I just think it would have looked a lot better, but they went for this kind of gray to black fade, which again, I'm personally not too crazy about. You're going to find black in the laces, and of course all the exposed Flyknit is black in color as well. So I guess my main gripe with this particular colorway from the Safari Pack is it isn't quite as over the top as what you get from the Hypervenom X and the Mercurial X colorways. Those are, in my opinion, a little bit more loud and just kind of show off the safari print a little bit better. As far as other elements you're going to find on this shoe, you have fierce purple outlining the Nike swoosh on both the lateral and medial side. Really nice shade of purple, and it works well with the gray and black on the majority of the upper. You're going to find that the shoe has a white midsole as well as white MagistaX branding going down the back of the heel. I personally think the midsole would have looked a lot better if it was gray or even black. It would have just went well with the rest of the shoe. The white, to me, almost looks like somewhat of an afterthought. And then it does have the gum rubber outsole, which I personally like the look of. Not everybody does, but I think it works well with the black and gray, and then you have one more purple Nike swoosh right here under the heel. So let me know your opinions on this colorway down below in the comment section. Do you like how they look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the MagistaX Proximo is a great shoe. Essentially what it is a Magista Obra with an indoor or turf bottom and the most significant cushioning setup of all the current Nike X lines. Now, in comparison to the Magista Obra, the actual upper is pretty much the same. For whatever reason, this shoe does have ACC all conditions control. A lot of people like to ask me why the MagistaX Proximo does have ACC and the Hypervenom X and Mercurial X Proximos do not. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that question. That's something you have to ask Nike. Again, it's a wet control element for the shoe, but considering they're for indoor or turf type environments, it's unlikely that it's ever going to play any kind of a major factor in your experience with the shoe, but just know that it is included on the MagistaX Proximo. The only real variation you're going to find from a regular pair of firm ground Obras, for example, is the sandpaper-like texturing, which essentially is just an extra layer of material running through the forefoot and toe box area, where the upper meets the outsole, just in kind of the high wear zones, just in case it scrapes against concrete or something like that, just to allow for a longer lifespan to the shoe. And these things tend to hold up pretty well, even in a street soccer type environment. Other than that, it's a regular Magista Obra. So you have a Flyant construction for the upper, Nike skin on top of that. It's got a padded liner, so it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's kind of right there in the middle. Very satisfying touch on the ball. It's got the off-centered lacing system with the laces being pushed slightly to the medial side. You have Brio cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system, really locking your foot in place nicely when you pull the laces tight, making for a nice responsive sensation, which is what you want from a pair of indoor shoes. It does have an internal plastic heel counter. Of course, you do get that mid-cut design. A lot of people think that this is some kind of an ankle support. It's not. There's no structure to it whatsoever. It doesn't really restrict flexibility of your ankle either. It's there for two different reasons. One, it's going to give the shoe a certain look, one that's very unique. Soccer shoes aren't normally mid-cut, but this one is, of course. The second reason why it's there is to provide a certain type of feel where it kind of gives you the sensation that the shoe is flowing from your leg onto your foot, as opposed to something that's being strapped to your foot like a traditional soccer shoe would kind of feel like, I guess. Is it a major improvement over low-cut shoes? Absolutely not. It's just a different type of feel, a little bit of variety. Some people like it, some people don't like it so much. I personally prefer low-cut shoes, but again, everyone has their own preferences. On the inside, it's just like a Magista Obra. You're going to find that it does have a smooth synthetic leather liner with fairly minimal amounts of padding. This is the one aspect of all the mid-cut models that some people struggle with at first, and I'll talk about that later during the on-feet portion of the video. Insole, fully removable, mesh liner on top, perforations throughout. It's just a single layer of this yellow foam, again, exactly like what you would find on a firm ground Magista Obra. The midsole, this is where things get a little bit interesting, is made from Lunar Lawn foam, which is a high-end foam you're going to find on a lot of trainers and runners from Nike. It's just a more kind of responsive, kind of more cushioned, but at the same time has a nice bounce back feel to it in comparison to a more plain Jane Phylon foam like you're going to find on the Mercurial X and Hypervenom X Proximo models. And also it's a lot thicker and runs from heel to toe. So you're going to sit a little bit higher off the ground than the other Nike X models, which some people don't like, some people do like. But the biggest difference you're going to notice is just the amount of underfoot cushioning that you have. These are not going to feel like you're running on straight concrete. This has a little bit of cushioning to it, which I personally really like. For me, I just like to have that little bit of extra comfort, that little bit of extra padding. So after a 2-hour indoor session or a 2-hour street soccer session, my feet aren't killing me. So again, everyone has their own preferences. If you like being lower to the ground, you're probably going to be better off with the Hypervenom X or Mercurial X lines. Or again, if you like to have a little bit more under your feet when you're running around, the MagistaX line, especially the Proximo model with its Lunar Lawn setup, is truly ideal. As far as the outsole is concerned, this happens to be the indoor variation. There is a turf model available as well. You're going to find that the outsole has a thick rubber piece all the way around the toe box and forefoot area, kind of again in the high wear zone. So that's gonna hold up really, really nicely. And then you get that hexagon layout, again, that's consistent across the entire Nike X line. Really no variety there. On indoor courts as well as on concrete, the traction is really, really good. And it's a type of rubber that seems to hold up quite well too. So again, durability is not gonna be an issue. Or if you're playing on turf, whether it be the rough carpet material or artificial grass, which is the plastic blades of grass with rubber pellets scattered throughout, the turf variation will get the job done as far as traction as well as durability is concerned. So as a package, if you want an indoor or turf version of the Magista Obra, the Mercurial X Proximo is definitely the way to go. As far as weight is concerned, the MagistaX Proximo is definitely not the lightest indoor on the market, but it's pretty light considering what it provides in terms of feel. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. We're going to throw them on the scale and you can see that they weigh in at 8.7 ounces, the equivalent of 247 grams, 248 grams, the scale changes mine. So as far as indoor shoes go, that's actually definitely on the lighter side. And the other thing to consider is that you get a pretty significant amount of underfoot cushioning, much more so than pretty much any other shoe in this particular weight range. So if you're looking for an indoor shoe that is relatively lightweight, has the feel of a Magista Obra, and also has really good underfoot cushioning, you absolutely cannot go wrong with the MagistaX MagistaX Proximo. All right, so here is a look at the MagistaX Proximos on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes. And on my right foot, I have a pair of white with black dots SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, very similar shape to a pair of firm ground Magista Obras. Obviously, the feel underfoot's going to be a little bit different because you have a lunar lawn foam outsole as opposed to a hard sole plate and a thinner insole. So the underfoot cushioning is very, very good. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, you're a little bit higher off the ground than the average indoor shoe, which some people won't like. I personally don't mind that. But again, if you want kind of a slight almost running shoe quality to how the shoe feels when you're running around, that's kind of what these things have on offer. I personally really like that in the form of an indoor shoe. It's kind of a unique experience, but again, not for everybody. As far as the fit of the shoe is concerned, it's an Obra, so it's an all-fly-knit upper, very flexible for the majority of the shoe. The only part that you're gonna find a little bit stiff or slightly uncomfortable at first is the heel, but that's the case with all the mid-cut models from Nike. If you haven't worn a mid-cut shoe before, it'll feel a little bit firm at first, especially at the heel area. So it's really important that you break them in slowly, wear them around your house, walk around in them, take them through some really light training sessions. Don't wear them straight into a game. Don't wear them straight into sprints. Don't wear them straight into a shooting session, because that's where you're gonna run into issues with discomfort and possible blistering. As long as you take the break-in process nice and slow and kind of work your way up to wearing them longer and longer, you should break them in pretty easily and really without any major discomfort. So again, just take your time with them and you shouldn't have too many issues. As far as width is concerned, they're gonna be suitable for most foot types, although they aren't really gonna stretch. The way they fit from right out of the box is the way they're gonna fit for their entire lifespan. So just keep that in mind. They'll be suitable for most foot types, but certainly not what I consider to be excessively wide. And as far as sizing is concerned, it is the same as the Magista Obra or the Magista line in general. They run about a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Safari Pack Nike MagistaX Proximo. If you guys are interested in more info on this shoe, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find the high quality images of this exact shoe. That'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up in either the indoor or turf variation below their normal $150 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding this particular shoe, leave those questions in the comment section and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.